Alrighty everybody, today I'm going to show you a very fast guide on crafting. It's a little bit more complicated than the rest, so just stick with me here and I promise you it'll be the best guide possible for you. So the first thing that you want to keep in mind here is to always make sure that you study your research notes. They're going to give you a massive little boost. You're going to get them mainly from salvaging all of your other crafts that you're going to go ahead and create. Now you're going to want to go to have materials, and if you don't have any materials, you want to go ahead and go to skill level. You're going to notice here that I have it on first craft bonus available right here, and you're going to have the bonus and the overall armoring right here. So you have tier 3 cloth, which is sateen, and you have just any regular old leather. So this can be tier 1 to tier 5, okay? And metals is the same thing, any metal. So you want to generally go ahead and use the lowest cost item. If there is a tier requirement, you want to go ahead and use it there. Now I'm going to go ahead and suggest right off the bat, you want to use this website right here. This website is extremely helpful. It is going to save you a lot of time, and it's also going to enable you to find the cheapest things to craft for the most amount of experience. And I'm going to explain that in a moment here. So you want to click on armoring here. You're going to import your server prices, and it'll tell you when, which is extremely useful. You definitely want to specifically rely on this more so when the import just occurred. So my level is currently 163, as you can see up there. So I'm going to go 163. Now the granularity is essentially lower granularity means it'll be more cost effective. So you want to keep it as low as possible. Number of choices is, you know, it gives you the number of choices. Now you want to set the sale value to no, because most of these lower craft items you are not going to be able to sell. So let's go back to the game here. So that's depth guards gloves. Okay, so that's medium, so that should drop here. So we're gonna go ahead and go skill, depth guard gloves. There we go. So you don't actually need the cloth that it said there. So you know how it says here phase fiber? Well, you don't necessarily need phase fiber. It might be the cheapest option, but it might not be. You know what I mean? So you're going to go, okay, great. So this does require either shift hide or layered leather. Good. And this does just require any random cloth. And this you can just use any iron ore for. So I'm going to go ahead and get all those together right now for you. Now, before I forget, I actually make a little Excel grid for all of what I need to create. So when you go to the actual recipe for it in the game here, it's going to say, okay, good. So you need 10, 4, 4, and 1. So now I'm just going to go through my inventory and my settlements and just check the storages in each of them to see what I already own so I don't have to buy anything extra. Okay, good. I have 956 iron ingots and I have 1,000 linen cloth. Okay, good. So I'm going to pull this back up here. So I don't need any iron ingots. And this is my cloth right here. Good. So I only need this much. Okay, and with the bright scale hide or any level tier 4. Alrighty, so we need bright scale hide, and I'd like to do a little price comparison. So you do need a tier 4 for this next craft, for example. So I'm gonna go ahead and get leather, and let's look at tier 4. So that's layered leather. So layered leather is much more expensive right now. So we're going to go ahead and skip layered leather, and we're going to go right to the bright scale hides then, because it's about a quarter of the price. I like to buy about 75% of what is needed. So we go back to our little math grid here. I know, right? Everybody loves math here. The reason being is when you go to recycle, you will get some of the crafts back. Now, you will not get back some of them, like the corrupted talismans will not be refunded to you when you salvage. This one will also not. The only one that will is your bright scale hide. So we are going to buy 2,589. So while the guide, it does say to only craft the depth guard gloves, as it says right here, what you're going to do is, before you do all of them, what you're going to do is you're going to create one of each, because you're going to have a massive bonus to it. Let's give you an example here. So on your first craft of each of them, so that says 37,000 at the bottom, right? Afterwards, you get 20,000 less experience as you get a massive boost on your first craft bonus. You're going to go ahead and repeat that for all of them. You're going to use the layered leather as you can, because that's essentially just free material crafts. And you're going to go create one of each and salvage. Now, it says the best deal is to use the depth guard gloves, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to now make our big order here, and you're going to click salvage all. Now, you're going to get from big salvages like this, Journeyman Armor Research Notes. Now, that's a bonus 50,000 right there. And you're going to keep crafting this. So as you saw earlier, we bought like 500 something, and we got an extra big chunk of layered leather here, right? So just to finish off the example, I'm going to buy just the remainder of what I need here. Now, if you don't want to wait for all of these to kind of conveniently fall into your lap, you can always place a buy order. And you want to say, okay, good, I want, 870, and I want them for, I don't know, 50 silver a pop, right? Alrighty, we're gonna go back here to the depth guard gloves and salvage all. There you go. Now you got 14 more and you got 107. Now let's use all of these up. That's an extra 100,000 right there. And you want to go ahead and just rinse and repeat this until you get to the level that you're wanting to, or until you run out of materials and have to go back to the auction house. And speaking of the auction house, I have one last tip for you. Is as you level up every 12 to 13 levels, you might be, especially if you're dealing with the auction house, you might be buying out all of the cheap prices that were there initially that are no longer there because you essentially bought it out, right? So if you go here to depth guard gloves, just as an example, this calculates out to about 0.5 gold per every corrupted talisman. But if you look back a second, you're seeing that it was about 140, the last ones that I bought for. So obviously this is way overinflated at this point. So almost anything else without corrupted talismans will be cheaper. For example, even this orichalcum here should be much cheaper at this point. That's all we got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment if you want to see something else. Peace out for now. Bye-bye.